Okay, so my name is Winnie, and I go by the name Mind Sugar on Slack. I'll be taking the introduction to HTML class, and yeah, we're starting already. So this is the agenda for today. We'll be talking about HTML basics, talking about the HTML document heading and the document body, what those are about. Also talk about how to work with text and then HTML page structure and container tags. Um, so let's just do this quickly because we have a lot to cover. Our advice, like if this is your first time getting to know about HTML, then you take notes and just try to like follow up the class. Good thing is we have recordings, so you can always go back to some things you didn't catch at first. So HTML basics. When we talk about HTML, it is gotten from the name hypertext markup language. It is like what we use to structure our page. One very good example people always use to describe HTML is when we're talking about a house. Um, Before you have like a fine building, you need to like have the structure in place. You need the foundation, you need the walls, blocks for the walls. You need to place windows. You need to set the roof. You need woods for the roof. You need irons. What kind of irons will I use and stuff like that, just to set up the building. That is what HTML does for the web page. It creates a structure for the web page, and for you to identify the HTML file, you would usually see the extension .html. So it can be very commonly you'd see index.html and some other names, but you'd always see .html. Some other extension you can see is HTM, or you'd most likely see HTML most of the time. Then HTML contain tags that are used to wrap content, and it is these tags, the HTML tags, that give special meaning to what it's wrapping. So without the tags, then nothing else makes sense in HTML. So the tags are very important, and it's very important that we know what the tags are for and when to use these tags in HTML. Um, then one more point is that HTML is not concerned about the look of the web. It has no business with the look. It just wants to know about the meaning. What's the meaning of this thing you're adding to the page? So if you're adding a text, what's this text? What do you want this text to do? Not about what does the text look like. So yeah, that's the basic things about HTML. Um, right here is a structure of what you'd see when you create your page. Thanks to VS Code, it is very easy to actually have this. So you don't have to like put all of this in your head, although it is essential in case you're without VS Code. But like when you go to your VS Code, I have a window here and you create a new file. Um, you can type in the name and say index.html, and it creates a file for you. Okay, already exists. Let me use something else. Okay, just replace it. Alright, so once you're on your VS Code, in order for you to get the structure, all you have to do is to hold down your shift key and your exclamation mark. Already, if you have the right extensions, it will bring out options for you to choose. The very first one will bring out templates for you. Um, yeah, so you should have this on your page. From this very template, you can see that we have the doc type saying HTML. So what this basically says is telling the web pages that, oh, this document, it is of the type HTML. So it's telling the browser that, oh, this is an HTML file, and then it is a language of English. That's what this is about. Then when we talk about document heading, just like what you see here on our agenda, document heading and document body. This is the head of the document. It contains very important tags that are very essential to the browser. The browser is concerned about this part of of the file, it doesn't appear on your screen. You don't see it on your screen aside from this title, but everything else, the meta tags, they do not show on the screen. They're just there for mainly SEO and some other details that the browser would need. For example, this chat set is talking about the kind of characters you're using. So the chat set of UTF-8, if you Google it, you'd see what that is about. It's like a set of characters that you can use, A, B, C, D, all of those alphabets, and some other languages too. Those alphabets are in this character set, and then some other details too. Then this title has to do with the name of the file itself. Let me show you an example. So if you have an extension on VS Code, this is the part where you see extensions. If you have this extension installed, Live Server, yeah, this one, Live Server. If you have it installed, all you have to do is to just click on Go Live. You'll see it here, and it should load up the page. Okay, hold on. Oh, open a folder. Sorry about that. Okay, let me create a folder. Name it example. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to create a file here, and we'll do the same thing we did earlier. Okay, so let's try the good life now. And you see that it's starting. So when it's done, it should pop up on the browser. And here we have our documents. Um, Currently, we have nothing displaying because we have nothing on our VS Code file. But where you need to like use the title is right here. If you see currently it's saying document and it's showing document here, that's where the title comes in. So if you want to change it and say HTML example, so HTML example, okay. So you see it has changed to HTML example. So that's how you get all of these things up there from the title tag. There are also other tags you might see. You might see links also in the head. So you have links like so. Links are used to like connect a file. You want to connect a file to your HTML file. A very important file you connect to your HTML file is your CSS file, which is for styling the page. So from your extensions already you have suggestion. The suggestion is saying CSS, which makes it easy for you, brings out the template. A very common name you'd see is style.css to style your page. So if you already have the file in the folder here, it is already linked up. It would apply the styles from your CSS into your HTML. So that's what the link does. You can also link other stuff like your favicon. Favicons are these ones, these images you see here. Those are favicons. So when you click on link, you also have like an option to see your favicon like this one. So you just call up the in this href you write the name of the file or like try to locate it from your folder and put the path into it. So that's what the link does. There are some other ones in the head too, like we have style. You can see style directly in the head, but it's not something you would most often see. Like if you do not want to have like a separate CSS file, you can directly just put your style into the head. So what you could do is you just click, just type your style and enter, then you put your style here, background stuff, blah, 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 and put everything you need right in here. So you can see something like that too in your HTML head. Other things can be scripts, but the scripts most times you would see it at the bottom of the page in the body tag, but sometimes you see it in the head. Yeah. So yeah, that's about the heading and some important things you'd find in the heading. Moving on to like the document body. I'll talk about the document body. We're talking about this part of the document. This is the body tag. These are tags. I don't know if I mentioned it, but like these are the tags we've been talking about. Link tag, style tag. Yeah. So the body part of the document um contains like the major part of what you would see. It is the visual part of the page, what the user would come up to the website and see. So it contains different kind of tags. You can have there are mainly two categories of elements you'd find, or if two categories of tags elements you would find. So we have the block elements, the inline elements. I'll try to explain these ones. Examples of block elements are your p tag, div, heading, heading elements, list, and the rest. While inline, we have the A span images. The differences block elements, when positioned in the page, do not allow other elements next to them, to the left or to the right. So, what that's saying is we said P is an example of a block element. So if you have a P tag, the P tag is for paragraphs, like adding paragraphs to your page. So when you have a P tag like this, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. The closing tag would always have this slash at the end of it. So when you have a P tag like this, you've told the file that or the browser that oh this is a paragraph and I want something in the paragraph like I am a girl. Now no matter what you put at the side of I am a girl, if you have another P tag here, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't flow like that on the page. So if you add I am a boy to it, I am a boy, let's see what we have here. You see, it doesn't like flow. What happens is this is a block element. Block means that it has taken up all of this line straight down to the end of your screen. This has taken all of this line straight down to the end of the screen. So it doesn't allow any other elements to be at the side. But we can always edit that when we're styling, when you're using your CSS. We can always manipulate that. But naturally, p tags are block elements. So when we say block elements, just know that we're saying that that element would flow from the beginning of your screen to the end of it. um this is not an ideal way to write on your file, so you have to like make it readable and fine. Yeah. So another example is the div tag and all of that. We'll try and get into that soon. While for inline elements, we have the example of links. Let's try and apply a link in here. So I am a girl and you want to add a link. Let's make girl a link, and all you need to do is use your a tag. The version is here already, so once you click it takes you there. You see that we also have opening tag and a closing tag for a in between we'll put our girl. That would make girl a link. Then in here we'll put the link. Say you want a link that will take you to Facebook, so you put www.facebook.com and put probably slash girl. I don't know if there's anything like that. But like when you go to the page, you see girl is highlighted, so you can actually click on girl, which I'm not going to do. And it will take you to facebook.com girl. So you see now that because A is an inline element, it can stay inside of the block element, and have no issue. It can share its space because it is inline. It can stay inside. It's the same thing too with when you're using an element called span. This is it. So span most times this doesn't have any real value, but span is like used to create special styling for a particular how will I call it, feature. I don't know what to use, but like when you want style girl, you can easily give a span just because you want to give special styling to girl and stuff like that. I've not talked about attributes. I'm supposed to mention attributes. Now there are some tags that have attributes. We've already seen example of those tags right here on the page. See this tag, for example, the meta tag has an attribute called chasset. This other one has a meta attribute called HTTP equiv. We have link having attributes of rel, having attributes of href. These are attributes. So same thing for if you want to have an attribute right here, you can have an attribute called class. This is like to name your span. You can also have an attribute called ID. When you get to CSS, I bet we'll talk about all of this. But like those are what attributes are. So when you hear attributes of an element, we're talking about extra things that describe that would add more details to like the tags already here. Mm. So so that's that about inline styling and inline elements and block elements, which we just discussed. Now I want to talk about working with text. There are so many tags you can use to work with your text. This is just like showing very little of those tags. There are so many of them. So we've already used the p tag, which we called the paragraph tag. We've already used a tag, which is for linking to other pages. Yeah, I think those are the two major tags we've used. So let's try to use other stuff. Oh, we've used span too. Okay, so let's say we're trying to create a blog page. Oh no, we're trying to create a page about a person. Say me, because I know me, so it's easy to create a page about me. So we want. Let me open this so you see how it's working. So we want to create a page about me, and we want a heading. I want the heading to be welcome. The funny thing is, you can actually just write directly, and it would show on your page, right, without any tag. But this doesn't mean anything to your browser. It doesn't mean anything to it. That's why you need tags. So it is a tag that add meaning to it. Now you want a heading. We have the heading tags. The heading has special styling that comes with it. It makes the any text that it wraps to be bold. So it goes from 1 to 3 to 6, as you can see here. 1 is the highest, is the biggest that you would find, and then 6 is the smallest that you would have. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if you have the H1 and then you put welcome to my page, you'd see it already that it is pre-styled for you to be bold and it's big. Let's compare with a different heading, and let's do H3 and say about me. If I were to ask like what tags are these, inline or block, I hope you'd be able to guess. Yes, they are block elements. They take up the whole line. So yeah, so as you can see the difference, this is H1, this is H2. H1 is bigger than H3. Now I want to create some stuff also to like add more meaning. Want a paragraph and say my name is Winnie, okay, and yeah, I think that's the P tag. We already know that. We already know links. Let's try and add the strong tag. We saw strong from our presentation earlier. So strong, what does strong do? Strong makes your text bold. So if you have your strong, the opening and closing tag, anything it wraps meaning. Anything it wraps becomes bold automatically. Okay. So yeah, that's it to me. If you want to do something else, let's say we want more text, and we say um, email, we have the em tag. The em tag emphasizes, that's what it is, emphasis. It lays emphasis on anything it wraps. So here you have, if you put female in between, as you can see, it becomes put it in Italy, Abi italics, Abi kini, yeah, italics. Anyway, so that's that about EM and strong. There are other tags that actually act like this. That's the B tag. If you also change this and put B instead, it will still be bold. but most of the time people use strong because strong adds more meaning to it. And maybe you should like try to find out the difference between B and strong. It would explain better when you make your own research. Okay, so let's talk about something else. Another kind of tag that work with text. We have lists. So let's say I want to talk about me, and I want to list some features about me. So we have the unordered list. Unordered list. This is the UL tag. It is unordered because we don't really see the order. That's what you have when you want to create like bullet points. So the unordered list is not taking anything. Instead, it takes in another tag called list, a list tag. So in the list is where you would include the points you want to make. So you could write tall or something else like um, I write, I don't know, sometimes, yeah, stuff like that. You could also have the ordered list. So I'll just copy this and paste it. So you could also have like the ordered list. The ordered list is different just with this first tag here. Instead of writing the UL, which is unordered, you write OL, which is ordered. So it creates an order for you, one, two, three. If you want to change from one, two, three to say I, you can do that when you're styling on your CSS file. So you can change all that. So that's what the list does. And let me see if I missed any other one. Okay, the horizontal line. Okay, what that does is it creates a line for you. Let's put one here. So right here we'll put the HR and it creates a line through the page for you. So yeah. So as you can see, the HTML is very basic. You can have a site that looks like this and nobody will be bothered if you just want to pass a message. But like if you really want it to look attractive, then you need your CSS sheets, your styling sheets for that. So let's just move on to the next topic. Because when you read up, you'd see more tags, and the more you use them, the more they stick to your brain or to your mind, whichever. So here is going to talk about page structure and then container tags. This is very important and a very important part, like very essential because they give structure to the page. Currently, what we have here has no structure. We just know we have a heading here, a paragraph here, another heading, and lists. There's no structure. Everything is just placed there. But what these tags do, they add structure to your page. So let me try my best to use as much as I can during this class. So we already have something here. Let me come back here. So now if you want to add structure to the page, let's start with something we call a nav bar. I think we saw nav there just now. See these as an example. This can be called a nav bar because we can navigate from here to a menu, can navigate to different parts. These are navigations. These are links, right? They are all navigations. So in order to create a navigation to add meaning, we use the nav tag. So when you come here, you can just write your nav, and yeah, that's all. You can use another list in your nav to create lists, other links that you want to add, say a link to a different page. You can add that right here using your a tag. So with your a tag, you can have like a link to a different page, say dot slash. See, it's already giving you an option. We have only um one file in the file in the folder. That's why it's showing that one. So if you have other names, you can add it like about me page, about dot html, right? HTML and stuff like that. So you have that right here. We'll put something here and just put about me. Yeah. So we see now that we already have like a section up here. Now the nav bar doesn't do anything literally, it's just a container that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't care what you put in here. It just wants the browser to know that this is a nav bar. You also have something called a header. The header tag most times is used instead of a nav. But if you have like a logo and a nav together, you can just wrap them up together like this. There's no convention for this. It depends on what you want to do. Let me format this quickly. Okay. So it doesn't really matter. Right here, you can add your logo with the image tag, which is not something we're talking about now. But you can add your logo right here to it, and it would also appear here. Your image will appear there. So that's that about the header. There's also something called article and section. Those ones, since you already have the header, now okay, let's do this way to add more make more sense. Let's use the main here. This main can like use you can use that to like define the rest of your page and say, oh, this is the main content of my blog page. So I'm just going to copy all of these, and then we're going to paste it into the space, right? So we're telling it that, oh, this is the main content of my blog page. So now we already have two structures rather. There's another one called the footer. The footer is usually right here at the end. So the footer is where you can have links to other places like my social media links and all of that. What you see um, on your page on some blog pages. So those are the two main ones. Also have articles and sections. Those ones are to like define inside of this main. You want to define like, oh, this is one part of it. Say this part we want to have a section here, and this is the first section in my blog page. And this is another section after the HR, another section. It doesn't actually show on the page. It is just for the browser to make sense of what you're doing and create a structure for it. And all of these like also help with how do they call that thing again? Help with accessibility. Yeah, it helps with accessibility. So like if um they want to like for people who are visually blind, they could like use their devices to read through the page and create an audio for them, so it would be easy to like read your page because there's a structure for it. So those are like major things. Oh, one very very important one that I must mention is the div. The div, you would use divs a lot. The divs is just like an abbreviation for division, I believe. In here, you can put whatever you want to put. It's just for creating, like I said, a structure. So in your div, you can put images, you can put videos in here, just for styling. When you go deeper into CSS, you'd come to understand that's better. And you see how to use like the divs. All of these can have like classes and names inside, like photo, and you go to your CSS and style and stuff like that. So yeah, that's like the very basic things about HTML. Yeah, just smudge around like extra stuff. Um, Two advice: always make sure that you close your tags, because if you don't close them, especially for those that have closing tags. Not all have closing tags. We've seen HR doesn't have a closing tag. BR for break line, to create a line, extra line, like saying you want to create the end. When you click on enter and it goes down, yeah, that's what you use break line for on your page. Those do not have like closing tags. So it's always important that you close your tags, those ones that have closing tags, because like when you don't, then things will go wrong. Your browser will not be able to interpret what you've just done, and things might appear strange on your pages. And then there's something we call inline styling. You can style in your HTML, but it's not very advisable that you do that. So as much as possible, always put all your styles in your style sheets. Even if you can literally just like write style in here and put everything inside, it's advisable to like just use your style sheet and link it to your HTML file. So yeah, that's like everything. I know I've used way more than 30 minutes. So I don't know if there are any questions or anything from the class today. Are there any questions you could like raise your hand to ask or like use the chat section or something? Okay. Okay. I can see. Oh wow. I hope you guys heard me, Sha. No vex. A hand is up. I saw a hand. Oluwatosin. Yeah, you can speak, please. Okay.